This is Tej. I'm here to discuss about mobile tools and technologies that are being used currently in the automation market. Although I've been working on web and mobile predominantly, my main focus has been mobile for a very long time now. So today I'm going to look at the different tools that are currently in the market. I have about 17 years of experience into IT, out of which I've done 13 to 14 years into mobile itself. I started off working on mobile with Nokia and then moved on to Samsung, and then I've been working on lots of mobile apps till date. So with my experience, I'm here to help you make an informed choice about the kind of automation tool you should be using for your upcoming mobile automation projects. So let's do one thing which everyone does when they start looking for new automation testing tools. So here are 15 tools that have come up, and I've used few of them. I've not used all of them. I've read about them. So Appium is the most used cross-platform iOS and Android tool which I've come across in last 6 to 7 years. So that is at position 8. 9 and 10 are native iOS and Android automation tools which are very commonly used. The ranking in here, in my opinion, is wrong. So here I have another portal which has 10 best mobile automation testing tools. Let's look at each one of them and then decide which one is best suited for our purposes. Cobiton is a testing platform. It's not a test framework. So let's see what we can use here. Solutions by need and see automation. And with automation, let's see what does it support. So they support Appium. Second one is test rigor. Let's see what it does. It says codeless testing. It's an Appium alternate. So it looks like maybe this is something that needs to be evaluated. So the next tool in the line is AccelQ. As you can see, this is another automation tool which is a codeless automation tool. Again, because the codeless automation tools, they're not scalable, and when it becomes to a point where you need to work on corporate with a bigger set of applications or bigger set of functionality, this becomes trickier. So I would rather avoid them at this point. Catalan is built on Appium and Selenium, so basically Appium lies under the hood. So I think the learning curve is quicker, so that means you can use UI to develop things. This will be an interesting one to check out. Perfecto. So I worked with Perfecto for a while. Perfecto is a cloud solution which provides devices which you can use to execute your tests that are written in Appium, or it could be using webdriverio or anything, or you could be running the tests which are written in XUIT or Kotlin. So Perfecto gives you devices which you can access and use. Looking at the other tools, I've not used TestGrid. I've used Appium extensively for 3 to 4 years out of my last 6 to 7 years. Selenium Android, this was one of the beginner things which were there during the initial phases of Appium. It used to compete with Appium, but yeah, I would prefer Appium over this one. And Calabash, I've used this for a couple of years. It was a long time ago. I don't think so there's many people using it if I've not come across it. So in my experience, out of these 10 tools, the most credible ones to be used are Appium for iOS and Android testing tool, and Catalan is something that I would prefer to try. And other than that, there is native iOS and native Android tools that needs to be focused upon. So in conclusion, having looked at different tools, there are many codeless tools that are available for trying and testing out. But the issue I have with codeless automation tools is the scalability. They can't be scaled. It's very hard to scale them up for a corporate size project. Reliability, because most of them try to use UI based learning things, and then they also use identifiers which may not be efficient. So that is another problem. And you can't use any of the oops concept which will help you organize the test pack a little better. And then learning curve, if it's a new tool for someone who's never worked on it, the learning curve is high. And the availability of skilled people, because it's a new tool and it's used by less people, so the availability will be very nice. And it's a proprietary tool, so it's not like an open source tool like Appium, so that means you'll end up paying a lot. Again, it depends on the kind of support and the maturity of the tool, which is very hard to know without even trying it. So now, what do we want to stick with? So the typical solution, if you are working on a cross-platform environment where you're working on both iOS and Android apps, will be Appium. And with Appium, you can either stick to Java or JavaScript, or you can also use it with TypeScript. So when you're using with JavaScript or TypeScript, I would prefer you use it with another framework like webdriverio or something, which will give you all the necessary support around waiting or retrying or a lot of other benefits that come with webdriverio. You could attach it to different reports and you could connect it to different services. So give it a try with a framework like webdriverio. So the next thing is, if you're working very close with developers and you only have the iOS app which is built and you get a lot of support from them and you're quite keen to learn Swift or you already know Swift, then XUI test may be a good solution looking forward, because it kind of gives you support to write the test. The problem is the reporting is pretty bad and it doesn't easily connect with cloud providers, so that may be something to look out for, but it does work very well on simulators, and it has issues with waiting and stuff. It's not like it works like super perfect, but again, it is the best that is available. So even Appium uses XUI test framework under the hood. So if there's a problem with XUI test, you'll also have a problem with Appium. Although the architecture is different, but both of them use the same technology under the hood. Now, Kotlin and Kotlin is the language, Espresso is the framework that is specifically used for Android. Again, if you only develop applications which are done in Android, so you'll need to Espresso would be a very good option. So, new tools to look out for. Out of all the research we've been doing for a little while, Catalan Studio, something which provides a software again that is built upon Selenium and Appium. I'll tell you the reason why Selenium and Appium are so connected a little later. So basically, this kind of maybe a game changer where it will help you do the things much quickly and more focused on on the automation side itself. So leaving it there, so I've told you different tools that are available, and in my next video I've been getting a lot of questions around why can't we use Cypress for mobile testing. The answer is no. I'll also give you the reason why. Thank you.